morning, my wife decided that she wanted a place for some gardenias to put out some, because she's been making some cuttings off of our gardenia bush and has rooted them, and now she wants to put them out. And so I've been working on that with my tractor. I've been using a brush cutter and cut up a bunch of privet hedge. I cut down some sweet gum trees and cleaned an area out. This is the area that I cleaned out, and I've got stumps in here that I need to grind up. And in order to grind those stumps up, I had to get my stump grind. But there's 5 or 6 stumps in here that need to be ground, and you can see one here that I have to grind up, a couple of small ones, and one over here that has to be ground up. And there's some privet hedge stumps right here that have to be ground up, and one stump right down in here. So I've got about 5 of these I have to grind up. Here's one here that has to be ground up. But I've got a stump grinder. This stump grinder I got from Woodland Mills. It's a WG24. And it was not that expensive as stump grinders go. If you're a hobby farmer or a hobby homesteader, that's the ideal thing. You don't have to invest a whole lot of money in a stump grinder, because to be honest, you're not going to use it that much unless you're trying to get into the stump grinding business, which I don't intend to. This is just for my personal use. And I'm using it on my Kubota M4700. Ideally, this is the wrong tractor for that stump grinder. If you're going to use this stump grinder, you need a hydrostatic transmission tractor, one that you can ease forward a little bit. But this will get down to a low speed, and I'll just take my time and do a little bit at a time to get it done. Come on the journey now, and let's grind some stumps. Now I'm gonna go get the tiller and till up from here back that way. Well, just one path is all I'll need, but till up there, and that'll give Ocho something to wallow in. My barn cat decided to come see what I was doing. He's got a unique name. He's called Barney. And we use his name for just about everything. We have a flea market booth, and we call it Barney's Mercantile. And so he's got his own booth. take just a minute and show you some of the features of this Woodland Mills Stump Grinder. As I said before, it's a WG24 Woodland Mills Stump Grinder, and 24 stands for the diameter of the grinding plate. It's 24 inches. But this is, as I said, for a homestead, this is a great thing to have. It's not that expensive. It's easy to use. The only thing I'd recommend is that you use a tractor with a hydrostatic transmission. This is good for a 25 to a 50 horsepower tractor. As I said, I'm using my Kubota M4700, which is a 50 horsepower tractor. And but it's not a synchronized transmission, and so I have to put it in the lowest gear I can, and it'll pull through the stumps. Just don't get in any big hurry trying to do it. You don't want to damage your tractor. But show you a couple of the features about this. This stump grinder comes with an integral chainsaw mount to carry your chainsaw around. You know, when you cut a stump and get ready to grind it, you want to cut that stump as low as you can so that you don't have put too much stress on your tractor or the stump grinder. It also has a kickstand, one on each side, that you can lower when you dropping your wood chipper, when you're putting it up. Each stump grinder comes with alamites in critical places, like the pivot pins. And speaking of the pivot pins, when you're storing it, you have a pivot pin that goes in through here and locks it into place so that you don't have to worry about dragging it. And the reason you take those pins out is so that this head here, this grinding head, can swing back and away from the stump if you're putting too much pressure on the stump. So you want to be sure that these pins are out and you're unlocking it there. As you can see, it's got a kickstand on each side. The PTO shaft is adjustable to whatever length you have. If you have a smaller tractor, you may have to cut that PTO shaft. And they have alamites on them to lubricate them. You have adjustable mount here for your top link, and your bottom links are standard stationary. You don't have any adjustment on those. Has a deflector shield. And that deflector shield is great for throwing things down. You don't want to throw it up, you want to throw it down. And that's what it looks like. The teeth on this thing are carbide teeth, and they are interchangeable. You can swap them out for new teeth on here. These will last you a while. I've had these on here for about 2 years now. They'll only cut one way when you drag across. They only cut when the tractor is moving in the forward direction. There's nothing on the back side to cut with, but as you see, it does have a small grinder here. So I guess that you could back up and cut a little bit, but I don't know if that's advisable or not. You can check it out and see. But nice little stump grinder, good for making a little bit of extra money around the place. If you have some small stumps, I wouldn't recommend it for a huge stump. You might want a professional for that. It has a paperwork manual box to store all your paperwork in. If you ever decide to sell it, you might need that. It has the wrenches that come with it, your paperwork. You know, if you're selling something, people are going to want to know how it operates and know what kind of paperwork you have, and this is the great place to store it. Barney says it's time for me to go get the tiller. Hang on. Hooking up the tiller now so I can go up and till my wife's gardenia bed. I dropped the stump grinder, and it's I'll come back later and move it. Okay, I've tilled it up. Now I'm going to rake all the limbs and roots out and level it up here, and she can plant what she wants.